How you doing, everybody? I'm Brandon Justice from EGM, and I am here with Yuri Bialoskursky, designer on the upcoming NFL Blitz. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Feeling great.
All righty, me too. After I got over that hurdle, I got to tell you, it's a whale of a last name.
It took me till the 5th grade to learn it, so I know how you feel.
There you go. All right, I forget mine most days, so you're doing better than I am. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you about Blitz. Obviously, it's a huge deal for EA Sports to kind of pick up the reins here of a franchise. It's been a while since it's seen the NFL treatment, man.
Yeah, absolutely. The Blitz franchise hasn't been around for a number of years, so it is kind of nice to sort of get back into that skin and play around in that universe again. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and obviously from a design standpoint, you guys have done a ton of football games here, from coaching simulations, arcade games, to more serious simulations in the form of NCAA and Madden. What's it been like working on an established franchise like Blitz?
It's nothing but pure fun, to be honest. I mean, I've worked here at Tiburon for a number of years, and this has by far probably been the most fun that I've had on a project. To say that our simulation products are fun, they're awesome. Blitz just happens to take it to this whole different place. I mean, we have so many cool interactions within the game. The gameplay itself is just so wild and crazy and dynamic that every game is a 2-minute drill. It's fast paced. It's completely different every time. So it's a lot of fun to play. It's a lot of fun to design it.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, obviously working with the NFL, there's a certain amount of, respect that you got to have for the property and the license. But in a lot of ways, you guys are pulling double duty here, because you've also got, this classic franchise that's sort of revered by so many fans out there. You've definitely had to handle it with care. Yeah,
for sure. That was definitely one of the main things that we set out to do at the very beginning. We wanted to pay respect, to this classic franchise that so many people out there have played, whether it be in the arcade or whether it be at home. There's so many memories there that people have of just sitting on the couch with their buddies, and just having these huge, all-night sessions of playing Blitz. So we wanted to make sure that we were true to that, and that we were doing things to bring in that old style of gameplay and everything. But then, at the same time, we want to give that old flavor a new flair, right? Put a different coat of paint on it, and just bring it to this new set of consoles.
Light it on fire.
Light it on fire, in a sense, right?
There you go. And I one of the most interesting things about the game, from what I've seen so far, obviously, is all of the modes that you guys are packing into this thing. I mean, obviously, everybody knows Blitz, from the arcades, from sitting on the couch with their buddies, and sort of the little zygote of the series, the league that came around. But for this one, I think you guys are really trying to give gamers a different way to approach the series. From the collections to power-ups to the gauntlet. Obviously, those are some really cool modes. Tell us a little bit about what's going into those and why they're going to help Blitz shine.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the other things that we really wanted to take advantage of bringing Blitz into this sort of new age was the fact that all of these consoles are now connected online. So Blitz, back in the day, was already this hugely competitive, aggressive experience. Now you can take that, and sort of branch out into, connect with anybody online and share that experience. It doesn't matter where you live. So a lot of our modes are, online. It's kind of a heavy online feature set, actually. We have, the Gauntlet. You mentioned the Blitz Gauntlet. That's our offline first-person mode. It's kind of a pseudo-season mode where you're going up against regular NFL teams, but then you're getting into boss fights with our fantasy characters, and that's like in a whole different stadium, and it's got power-ups and all sorts of really cool, exciting scriptables, with the fantasy characters. It's really a lot of fun. As far as like the online stuff, we've got 3 really big modes that we've worked on this season, and they're all, really engaging.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit, speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about collections. Obviously, Donnie Moore gets a lot of attention, as the ratings are, but you guys are, rather than going in and having detailed rosters in the same sort of way, you're taking a different approach with how a Blitz team is structured. I wanted to get into that a little bit.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, some of our other simulation products, they have Obviously, they have a full NFL roster, depth charts, and all of the multitude of players that are in the NFL. With Blitz, we wanted to focus, Blitz is always traditionally focused on the superstars on each team, and we're no different. We take so you mentioned collections. That's part of our Elite League mode online, and in Elite League, you're collecting those players essentially in order to make a fantasy team. And each one of those players has their own separate set of ratings, whether it be skill, power, speed, recovery, and all of those ratings kind of combine into this team rating. So the difference, again, is that since we don't have as many players as, say, some of our other products, we try to make up for that by creating, a more of a team dynamic there. So all of those ratings kind of combine into something that then you take out onto the field and translates into gameplay.
Right. So the Patriots' passing attack is still going to be stout. The secondary for the Packers obviously want to stay away from, the corners over there.
Of course.
There you go. So, outside of that, obviously leaderboards are going to be a big deal for you guys.
Yeah, again, Blitz has always been this very competitive experience, so you always kind of want to get out there and see who's the best and everything. And we have a new online mode called Blitz Battles. Blitz Battles contains battle boards, and when you start a Blitz battle game, you choose, you sort of define where are you. There's 3 different battle boards. There's a local battle board, a regional battle board, and a national battle board. So when you start your Blitz battle game, you say, okay, I'm in Florida. I pick Florida as my locality, and now you're on this board with nothing but people from Florida. So there's a board made up of 25 different people, and in every Blitz battle game that you play, you're earning ranking points, which then progress you up this battle board. Then eventually you graduate from one board to the next and can eventually get to the Hall of Fame.
Right, and that's definitely a very cool thing for people that want to have a different way to compete. And one of the cool things about it is, once you get to a point where you're going to kind of go up and down those boards, you kind of have a challenge game, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, so when you get to the top of any one of these boards, you play a rank-up game. The rank-up game is against hopefully another person in that locality, and if you win that game, then you get this, this big screen. You've been promoted to the next battle board. You get Blitz Bucks, which is Blitz Bucks is part of our economy. We in every online game you earn Blitz Bucks, which you use to purchase things in our Blitz store. But all of that stuff, is tied together in the Blitz board, and every time that you come out of a Blitz battle game, you're going to see, I've moved up. These people have moved down. And by the same token, if you don't play very well, you get to the bottom of a Blitz board, you have a rank down game and can actually move down a board as well.
Yeah, another cool thing about collections, obviously, is you have the opportunity to actually put stakes on the game.
Yeah, so in Elite League, we have, again, it's kind of putting your team together, trying to put the best team out on the field, and then going and competing against other people and their teams. And obviously you can do that head-to-head. But we also have a risk and reward game type, which allows you, so the collections, as you kind of gather more and more players, you're trying to fill out your collection, you'll get to kind of a point where it's a little more difficult to get to the players that you need. You can go into a risk and reward game and play another person, and if you win, you actually go into their collection as they watch you go into their collection and steal one of their cards. It's a pretty gratifying experience to know that the guy on the other side is watching you take one of his cards.
Absolutely. It's a little bit better than replay for rubbing that win in somebody's face.
For sure. For sure.
Very nice. Well, folks, what was old is new again, and obviously NFL Blitz is coming up hard and fast, hitting stores on January 3rd, so fans of the franchise want to make sure and get their helmets on, get the pads ready, because it's going down.